Happy Saturday, Raw Food Rehabbers. I am coming to you today, continuing on with our series of life practices for ageless health. And although we've talked about breathing early on in the Raw Food Rehab experiment, I think now is a good time to touch on that again. One way that we can really nurture and honor this body that we have been given is through proper breathing. And, I mean, obviously we know that we breathe and we just do it. We do it. Involuntarily we just do it. But it's good to give some consciousness to the fact that it is our life. Without the air that we take in through breathing, we seriously would not be alive today. It's critical that we get that oxygen, and every cell of our body really needs it. The first thing we do when we're born is to take one big deep breath. And the last thing we do before we die is to take our final gasp before we stop breathing. So between birth and death, there's this life that we have that's completely maintained by our breathing. Proper breathing is the invisible staff of life. And so today I'm kind of on this Paul Bragg kick because I just did a video for Patricia Bragg promoting some Bragg products that have been meaningful along my health journey. And so it caused me to go back to my bookshelf and remember one of the books that I read many, many years ago, which was, what's the name of it? Superpower Breathing by Paul Bragg. And he says in his book, and I just made some notes, people who fail to obey the doctor's orders about getting plenty of fresh air day and night invite extremely severe complications into their health. In his book, he gives you lots of really cool breathing techniques, and he also examines very fully the function of breathing, the importance of it. He teaches that breathing is our invisible food. It's the only food that we absolutely cannot live without. And I know that there are people out there, I've heard the term breatharian, and they don't eat, they just breathe. Now, I'm not there. I probably would never be there. But, I mean, obviously it is a possibility people do it. But if we are deprived of air anywhere between like 5 to 7 minutes, death will immediately take us. So we are miracle breathing machines. Oxygen is carried by our blood to the lungs, that's where the great miracle takes place, which is the exchange of life-giving oxygen for deadly carbon dioxide that we take in. We create deadly toxins in the process of living that the CO2 carries out of our bodies. These are collected by our blood, brought into our lungs, and expelled as the new life-giving oxygen enters into our bloodstream. This is all via Paul Bragg. During the process of metabolism, the building up and tearing down of the cells of our body, and in the very process of living, carbon dioxide poison is constantly burned up by our breathing. So deep breathing is important also because we've talked about before that it makes our lymphatic system work better. The lymph system is our body's sewage system. And every cell in our body is surrounded by lymph. And you can Google that. You can check that out online. The lymphatic system is twice the size of our circulatory system, which I did not know that before I started researching and before I started writing this book. Twice as much lymph as blood is present in our bodies. And we have twice as many lymph vessels as we have blood vessels. One of the keys to good health is to keep your lymphatic system open and flowing freely. So breathing is the main way. Taking in of oxygen is the main way that we do that. So it is important that we keep on working towards a consciousness that every breath we take is bringing precious life-giving oxygen into our system. So today I'm going to post a link to a video that you can watch that really kind of helps you understand the importance of proper breathing. And so many of us breathe from our chest only. It's a shallow breath. But if you lay on your bed and put a hand here and a hand on your belly and watch, you want to make sure that this lower hand that's down on your belly area is the hand that's mainly moving. That's a deep diaphragmatic breath, which is the breath that's going to cause your health to improve. So if you're just shallow breathing, you're not doing your body as much good as you could if you really feel it down in your low diaphragm. So I just want to encourage you today to keep your focus on your breath. If you're doing nothing else, breathe properly. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow.